Welcome to Prime View, the program where we take the views of Nigerians from all around the world, discuss them, and pose them to the politically exposed. I'm Spencer Aniwelo.
I am Mystic Marlene. You're welcomed. On the show today, we have Mr. John Iteshi, a lawyer, a political aspirant, so a senatorial aspirant of All Progressive Congress Party, APC, representing Ebony State.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
To the viewers, like we all know, there are so many activities going on around in Nigeria now with the National Assembly. We have a lot of defections here and there, APC, PDP, and Nigeria is just in turmoil. On Thursday, the president reacted to the defections, stating that all the politicians, all the aspirants, the senators of the House of Reps that defected has nothing to do with him. He has no problems with them and they have no problems with him. But the main reason that these people are defecting is simply for the fact that it has a lot to do with their states, having to come back to run for their states. So now we have an aspirant, a new fresh person coming to run under the same APC for senatorial position. Mr. John Iteshi, can you tell us a little bit about yourself before you take us on a ride on this evening towards politics?
Thank you very much. Like you said, my name is John Iteshi. I was born in Bakaliki, Ebony State, and I was educated in Nigeria and in the United Kingdom here. I currently live here in London. I have since childhood been interested in the development of my people. I don't know whether you're aware of the level of development in Ebony State. We are arguably the least developed part of Eastern Nigeria, if not entire Nigeria in my view. Education has always been my main concern for my people. To emancipate the people. I'm particularly interested in female education. And beyond that, anyone who has ever met me will always describe a few things about me, that John is passionate about Nigeria, passionate about development. So as a person, all you hear about me is Nigeria, how things will get better. I've always thought about that. I've always in writing, in some cases, try to reach out to those in power to better the lot of my people. And now I am thinking that I have to step in and do my bit while I'm still young.
Okay, so at the moment you're running for the senatorial position for your state.
Yes.
Do you think you have what it takes to grapple power?
And
before then, he was a governor.
At least he has a track record.
He was a commissioner of education.
Yeah, because we believe if you have a track record, you're heading to success. So you're telling me now you can actually stand face to face with him and tell him, look, I can do better than you're doing.
That's very clear, because I think life is a very serious journey. And what we're talking about, the situation of our people, is not but just a story. It's something about real life. People are suffering, people are dying for lack of access to basic amenities like hospital. People are suffering because they have no jobs. And if we take life seriously, then we must discard people who we have tried and tried and tried and they have failed, and try new people. And that's where I stand. Whatever the case, this guy has been Commissioner for Education, Governor, and Minister for Education, and he hasn't uplifted the life of our people as much as he has uplifted his own personal life. So I am very sure that I have more than what it takes.
Yeah, okay, but you know what comes with that? What comes with his track record in the Nigerian context is money as well.
Of course.
And it's undeniable, obviously. You saw what happened in Ekiti State.
Yes.
Well, the allegations of votes buying, and also. So, do you have a lot of money to face this? Because you know that you have to be. That's what you're going to be up against.
Definitely, I have no money to challenge anybody. I haven't got money. I'm not a rich man by any standard, but I'm rich in ideas, rich in passion and vision for my people. So all I have to do, and I'm doing, is enlighten my people that we need to wake up and save our existence. So if they choose to continue doing the same thing that has led them to nowhere, it's still up to them. But I'm very confident that people have had enough, and people are going to rise up and take his money and still vote for whom they like.
And then I'm taking you back to the defections in the Senate. How do you think the issues of defection different, because right now it's like every 4 years, there's a lot of people jumping from one party to the other because of, I remember one of the governors, Benue State?
Yes.
Lost in his primaries, defected to APC, he was PDP, went to APC just a few days before the election, and he got the
ticket. Yeah.
He got a ticket. So now, how do you think that this problem can be contained a little bit?
Well, the fact is, it becomes a problem if it's running contrary to the law. If it is in accordance with the law, then it is part of the system. Politics, wherever you find it, is ganging up, people ganging up, grouping for their own to pursue certain objectives. So it's gang up everywhere. If the sort of gang up they're doing in Nigeria is something within the law, then that's fine. To me, I don't think the defection is a real issue. What is a real issue is people aligning politics with the survival of the people, the survival of the society. I want people to understand politics as not just a game, but a game that is really, really about our life. If we understand that we need to develop, and that development is about our survival, if we can understand this, then that's the most important thing.
Yeah, but some would say that actually defection is a problem because it exposes the lack of ideology. Because, for instance, if you were in diaspora, in the UK,
yes,
and you can see we have the ideologies in our politics over here, with the Conservatives and Labour Party, the clear, distinct ideologies.
Yes.
So you don't see rampant deflections, or it's very rare.
Or jumping back and forth.
Back and forth, you know.
Yeah,
so it is a problem, because what you now see is that because there's that loophole, the way I say it, of people, the ability to move around, all people have to do is just use money, get themselves into position, and use the money to perpetuate themselves in position. But if there's an ideology which tells me that Mr. John Iteshi believes in looking after the poor people or so, and that's what you believe in, it would be strange for me to see you tomorrow not abiding by those policies. And that's the difference, and that's why we see it as a problem. Even the Western world sees it as a problem.
Well, in relation to Nigeria, I do not care what the Western world thinks, really. But the situation is that people changing parties. I understand what you're saying. It obviously exposes a lack of ideology in our politics, that people are doing politics without believing in anything, like I said earlier on about convictions. Yeah, obvious, it's an obvious problem. Also because of the peculiarities of our society. People are all about what to eat now and not even tomorrow. So since that is the problem, the key problem is the changing leadership, rather. That's what the problem is. People building stronger leadership, stronger enlightening people on what politics should be and not what it is today. Politics should be about this societal development and advancement. So if we focus on what matters, the behavior, behavior of people jumping from one party to the other, people either won't even have a place in the first place. Yeah. It is because politics is about personal pocket.
Yeah, I was going to say something about that. Because especially the way this particular time. It wasn't the way it was done in 2014-15. The way they defected this time, it was like, I used the word they're doing Maradonas with Nigerians. You know, they're just playing games with us. Here in diaspora, we don't actually know exactly what's going on. It's like now you see it, now you don't. They just, I don't know what you have to say about this particular defection they did, if you know what happened about this particular one, with the likes of Senator Saraki and Dino Malaya and co. And what Tinubu has to say about it. I haven't heard Tinubu say anything about it yet.
I'm not a spokesperson for Tinubu. I respect him as a great leader, and all I can say about Tinubu, if we mention him, is that he is an exemplary leader in Nigeria, someone that should be emulated. As per the behavior in the National Assembly, I think National Assembly members are individually responsible to their constituents. So I think the whole issue boils down to lack of education. You see, the critical part of leadership in Nigeria that has failed is the media. If the media could be sitting up to their responsibility, which is critically educating the people, if the media were educating people on matters in Nigeria, loads of things that have happened now wouldn't have happened. Even the herdsman crisis, the media would have led it differently. The media didn't lead. The politics, they are not leading at all. Because how does the media lead here, like here in the UK? The media leads by educating people, and people know what they want. If media leads by educating people, like, look, you've been voted for by people. Did the people vote for you to shift from one party to the other? So things like that, media is not leading. So at the end of the day, it's the people. We are getting the sort of people we deserve. So I wouldn't bother about the defection. I would bother about how we understand politics in Nigeria. If our understanding of politics changes, it will definitely sift out such clowns that we see in National Assembly, because most of them are mainly, I mean, you cannot avoid describing some of them as clowns.
Yeah, but I don't know why you have to say the media has a lot to do with it. The media was not there when they've been, because like he mentioned, politics in Nigeria is a politics of money. So even if the media has to say much, corruption is one of them. Talking about media now, if you call a media conference or a press conference and give them 10,000 naira, they'll say what you want them to say. So that's Nigeria.
But that's a big issue in Nigeria. That's actually more important more serious than the issue of defection. If you have a mass media that is corrupt, we have no future. Because if you look at the UK, the media actually leads this country. Media leads opinion, because it's public opinion that matters. If the leaders know that the people are not happy with them, they will be jittery.
Yeah.
But in our country, the media is not leading at all. They don't analyze things, because analysis helps also to lead. They don't analyze things. They basically, if in terms of news or politics, what I see them doing is sometimes if they're trying to be fair, they are just throwing things out. No, you're supposed to not just throw things out. You're supposed to say, this is how it should be, or bring experts to point to the right direction. So we need the media to sit up to the responsibility in Nigeria. If we can have that sorted, media can fix corruption, can fix everything in Nigeria, virtually everything. You don't need to be a perfect man to be president if you have a good media.
Do you have anything to say with that? Because there's so much to, if I start
it's a big area to discuss.
So much to say, especially when it comes to corruption.
Yeah.
I really don't think the media has a lot to do with it. Because I watched them, I listened to Donald Duck the other day, his book. Donald Duck, that's his name, yeah?
Donald Duck,
he mentioned there's two parts of corruption. I remember that quite well. The deeds and the needs, you know? The needs being that you cannot curtail it. It has nothing to do with the media. It's a lifestyle of Nigerians now that if you want he used the police officers as an example. That if a policeman is standing, he has things to do, businesses to do, children to mind diseases, and he's being paid peanuts. So there's no way you can curtail corruption.
He said, how do you expect him not to take bribe?
Well,
With the media, you give them certain jobs. Like now, I'm sure they don't even. Some of them are on freelance.
Yeah.
They don't get
It's
paid.
down to poverty yet
Yeah,
again.
it's just poverty. So
yes, it's poverty, but you can't. Leadership is not everybody's or all commerce affair. Leadership is about those who are passionate and in the right position
Yeah.
to step up to the task. So you have media practitioners that are supposed to be able to step up to the task.
Yeah.
So if you have people, if we have a different understanding of media work, understanding responsibility, not just media, you have religious leaders as well
Yeah.
who have voice. Because the society, in my view, is like a large family.
Yeah.
In a family, this large family, the leaders, including the media, constitute the adults, the parents. The way they talk, the way they guide is what matters. In Nigeria, people talk anyhow. See a retired general opens his mouth and talks anyhow. A bishop opens his mouth and talks anyhow. And people are following this. That's part of the chaos.
Yeah.
At least the media, on their part, because they're supposed to be those that inform them. Responsible media, they could also be rebooking people. Who
But Joe, hold on. I'd like to bring you back to what we were discussing in terms of cross-carpeting.
Yes.
How do you think this? To me, I see it as a problem. That's what I was going to say. So, how do you think this could be? This issue could be dealt with? Because the thing is, in the West, I'm telling you, the Western world are looking at us and laughing at us. That our version of democracy is not what they can't recognize. They don't recognize it, to be honest. So, where in most societies, even in our constitution, in Section 68, there are rules and regulations and situations where crossing, party lines is acceptable and permissible. But what you see in Nigeria is a case where they gang up, they plot. If it doesn't suit them for any reason, like Merlin just said earlier, Mystic said, maybe they see that they're not gonna get a ticket, or they feel they're not gonna, or that some godfather is not in the they've fallen out with a godfather or a governor or a party. Then suddenly you see them moving to go and actualize their interest over there because there's no ideology. But my point is, how do you think, because you want to be a senator, these are bills that people could move, you want to be a senator, perhaps one day you might want to move this particular bill, who knows? Yeah, because it's a problem. So how do you think this could be stopped or limited or even stemmed?
Well, first of all, I appreciate the fact that you think it's important we need to get rid of that. Obviously, if it's not according to the law or it's wrong, it should be challenged. Or if it's seen as a problem, and we can change the law.
But here's a problem, though.
Of course, it's up to
because you can see what's happening. They gang together just to get rid of someone because they don't like him, or just to actualize their own interests.
I acknowledge it has impact. It may have impact on the stability
and
of government.
the people are the ones suffering because people. If let's say, for instance, you're elected for Ebony State, Ebony East, isn't it? If you're elected, the people of Ebony North vote you in tomorrow under a APC or Progressive Congress. And suddenly you decide, you don't consult them.
Exactly.
You decide to defect to, say, the YPP or any party.
That's why
without their consent. And that's the problem.
Exactly. That's
so the people are going to be saying, why did you didn't consult us, you just moved for your own particular interest.
Definitely.
And that's not the mandate they gave you.
Definitely.
So my issue is, this is an issue that needs to be addressed. Because if I voted for you and you did such a thing, in the UK I could be challenged, you'll be thrown out in the next elections.
Definitely. You are very right. I agree with that. That's why I said earlier on that every National Assembly member is individually responsible to his constituents.
Yeah.
So their constituents are the most, those that have a strong say on this. That look, we voted you on that platform because of the belief in that party. This is what we thought. Why are you changing? That's another issue. It has effect or impact on the stability of government. I admit that. Yeah. I agree with that. But the only way to change it, if it's not according to the law, is to strengthen the law. It's something that could be done, of course. That's a simple thing. If people see it as something worth changing, strengthen the law. But my focus in the National Assembly would be on the impact, how to make government work for people. That's my main driving passion, to get the National Assembly to make sure, to help make government affect people's lives. I travel across Nigeria and I cry because I don't like the situation of the ordinary man. I want the Nigerian government to become responsible, a government that cares for the poorest, not the privileged. So if I go to National Assembly, you will hear about me a lot, focusing mainly on the least privileged.
Executive advocate for a very delicate issue. You mentioned that
During the IPOBs, the Biafra movement,
Yes.
no senators said a word, and really, actually, I don't think any governor said a word.
Exactly.
And you said something.
Yes.
Can you
I did some. I did a lot.
What did you do?
I posted them on
didn't know
Facebook.
about it.
I posted them on Facebook. I first when it started.
First of all, are you a supporter of Biafra?
God forbid,
Okay.
not IPOB. God
Okay,
forbid.
IPOB,
But what about Biafran ideology?
I supported Meka Odmeguchukwu. He's
Okay.
a hero, and I respect him. I will never be ashamed to identify with him. And I appreciate my people had a good
Yes.
cause to fight a war, but there is no cause to fight for Biafra today.
Yeah.
Ojukwu said the Biafra today should be a Biafra of the heart.
Okay.
It's not a Biafra of following a tout. You know where he came from.
No, you have to. You can't call him a tout. 'Cause
Someone you don't know where he
some
comes from.
people
Yes.
identified with
But
his
he
ideology.
had-
He had an ideology, though.
Well,
That's the
he
thing.
had- well,
He had an ideology that people
nothing
followed.
coherent that ever came from him. And so I stood firmly against his kind of person. I actually traveled to Nigeria and tried to talk to people, tried to speak to people, find out how they feel, and I found that if anyone had been speaking out, we would have had a change. I spoke to people at Ogbete Market in Enugu. Before then, I spoke to people, Igbo people at Wuse Zone 3 Market. To talk to ordinary people, to educate them that this is a bad idea. It is a bad idea for Igbo people to be preaching hatred. Igbos of all people shouldn't be preaching hatred. We need other people. Our people are in all parts of Nigeria investing and touching lives, improving the lives and the lives of the people around them. We can't live without other people. In fact, we need Nigeria more than Nigeria needs us. So I convinced a few people, and I felt if I had a voice, I would have changed the direction of things. So I'm quite disappointed in Nigeria Igbo leaders that they didn't speak out. I went off again. There was something that happened. Interestingly, in 2016 that I went to that Wuse Zone 3 Market. There was this.
Zone 2.
Wuse Zone 3. Wuse Zone 3 business.
Okay, the business
where they have
center,
the
yes.
shopping,
Okay, yeah, I know where the
electronic
shopping
stuff
malls,
there.
Yeah.
Yes. So they were right there. It was 30th of May, I think. Right there, they was spreading false news about mass killing of people in the nation. And right there, I told them, look, this is how they operate. It's all false news. Call someone in Onitsha right now. Let's find out if these people are lying to us or not. They called people in Onitsha right there. They said it's all nonsense. It didn't happen. Onitsha is calm. So that gave me ground to talk to them.
Yeah.
That gave me ground to talk to them and
Yeah.
start listening to me. And I told them, this guy is trying to create crisis.
Yeah.
So they will start killing our people. What are you going to benefit from it?
Yeah.
The funny thing was, later on, Amnesty International, later in 2016 or so, began to make a publication on the killing, the so-called mass killing in Onitsha. The same one that I
Was the same one? Oh, they
that
took it
didn't
up as a
happen.
real news.
Yeah, Amnesty International bought a fake documentary by IPOB publicizing that nonsense. I wrote to Amnesty International challenging them. I posted them on my Facebook, my correspondence to Amnesty International, that what they're saying is nonsense. It's not true. So, and I sent it to all media organizations in Nigeria. They didn't want to publish it. So I did my bit. I wrote an article condemning Nnamdi Kanu as having been not being a coherent leader, not having anything to offer. So I've been writing a lot on Facebook about it.
maybe he has a lot of followers that are watching this.
Well, that's why
They don't
Yeah.
think, they think otherwise.
I am, but I do not blame the followers that much, because we have irresponsible leaders in Igbo land who have spoken, who failed not to speak out. You see, nobody spoke out. People kept calm. Example, Chukwemeka Ezife, that lives in Anambra State, did not speak out when, if they killed Igbo people in Onitsha, there was mass killing. He didn't speak out. So where was he? Then after once Amnesty International gave voice to a fraudulent movement, he came out to talk. Yes, something is happening. So that tells you have very dishonest leaders.
We have to exempt that because Prime View does not discriminate, and Prime View does not condemn. So his ideology is his problems and his views and his belief. You know, so we cannot come here to condemn Nnamdi, and we cannot come to condemn the IPOB. But like I said, it's also your belief that we talked about. I just wanted to know what you did that period, because now what you're saying now means the Operation Panton Dance. You supported it, is that it?
The unfortunate thing about, I don't know the details of Operation Python Dance because I wasn't there, but I'm not hating IPOB members. Of course, I condemn Nnamdi Kanu with every word, every condemnable, everything that I have, every objective I have that suits behaviors like his. But the members, the followers are misled people. I blame our leaders. Because you need leadership, you need direction. Our leaders kept quiet, and the quietness gave credence to Nnamdi Kanu's false promises. See, what we're talking about is about the life of people. So people need to be clear. That's why I'm talking about conviction. Yes. I have something to offer to Igbo people, which is something better than what Nnamdi Kanu is offering. What I'm offering to Igbo people is to conquer the world. You know, not to become an island, and how the Igbo people conquer the world by not preaching hatred.
Of actualizing a real political, being a real political bloc as a people.
Yes, I think I have sympathy for a slight sympathy for what you said. Not because I want to have one Igbo leader, but I have sympathy for the rationale for following Nnamdi Kanu. The fact that people are looking for a leader, and they found one, and they're not interested in what you say about him. That is understandable. But the question is, do we really need one Ezendibo or leader of
I think we do. It would help us in terms of politics. We do.
The problem we have, part of the reason why we have where we are here today, the most disorganized in Nigeria today, is because we are focusing too much on having an Igbo leader. So every Dick and Harry wants to be an Igbo leader because we're focusing too much on it. And what happens? Somebody goes to steal money or kill people, do fraud, make money, and come and bulldoze. This is where I'm now an Igbo leader. So we need to de-emphasize that. I recommended in 2006, and I will send you a link to these articles, in 2006, that we should have Igbo National Conference. So if I were to play the trick of pastors in Nigeria, I would claim to be a prophet, because I was basically saying what, prophesizing what is happening today with Nnamdi Kanu and others. 2006, we need to have Igbo National Conference to understand ourselves, because we don't understand ourselves.
Okay, let's hold on. Let's just hold you on to that. Let's take a short break.
Okay, thank you.
When we come back, we continue with the Igbo topic.
Thank you very much.
Igbo. See you soon.
Offline now.
Welcome to Koramo Lounge Pan-African Restaurant, bringing you the finest taste of African food to the heart of East London. Choose from a variety of Pan-African menu or try our point and kill fresh catfish. We are located in 308 Barking Road, East Ham, London, E6 3BA. For table bookings, birthday bookings, baby shower and private events, call us on 0203 302 6565 or 07532 789 480. Koramo Lounge.
A great product just landed in Africa to power your devices. A product with high performance and high durability. Fujitsu batteries, distributed by IQ Distributions. Fujitsu has both industrial and consumer battery types suitable for various devices. The consumer battery types include alkaline batteries, carbon zinc batteries, rechargeable batteries, lithium batteries to power devices like torchlight, wristwatch, mouse, cordless phone, remote, car remote, camera, calculator, radio, microphone, motherboard, keyboard, gamepad, toys, electric toothbrush, smoke detector and lots more. Reputable, reliable and result-oriented distributors are wanted in Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa and the entire sub-Saharan Africa region. To apply, simply visit www.iqdistributions.com. Complete the reseller application form, upload the required documents, and submit. Once your application is approved, you will be given access to make purchases on the website. For more details, contact us now. Fujitsu Batteries, quality, engineered in Japan.
Welcome back. You're welcome to Prime View. And we've been discussing about, first of the show today, like you all know, if you've been watching, we have Mr. John Iteshi. He's a senatorial aspirant, not candidate, aspirant for APC come 2019, representing Ebony.
By North Senatorial District.
North Senatorial District. We've been talking about the defection in the National Assembly. We talked about IPOB. We just dabbled into that a little bit. But we're still on these Igbo matters because the topic was that Ndibo are not really represented. Ndibo, when I say Ndibo, the way I said it, I am from Igbo land, and I don't think we are well represented after the likes of Ziggs and all that. And then we are not forgetting Okadibo, Oyi of Oyi, that was one time the Senate president, but just for a short while. I notice in Igbo politics, the Igbos are not that well represented. So, Mr. John, can I ask you, how come politically we are not that represented? Since you're going into this, because it's you people that sit down in the Senate. If you win, if you get a ticket and win, you guys will sit down and make decisions. And most Igbos have been going there, making nothing has been coming out of it. How do you think this can be the political force for Igbo people?
Yes, I think I understand from clearly what you mean by being represented, that we are not having good effect of government, perhaps. Yes, and like I said earlier on, we haven't had the kind of responsible leadership we deserve. And that's why you had something like IPOB emerge. Because our people are highly ambitious people, you know. And nothing, you know, it's like you have boys, you know, in a class or anywhere, you're not giving them something to keep them busy. So they're going to be excited. They want to do something. So there's a problem in Igbo land. We have, like I say to some people, complaining about marginalization, which I don't believe anymore, that if you look, there has never been a government, whether democracy or military, there's never been a government in Nigeria that excluded Igbo people. Never been a government that excluded Igbo people. We always have Igbo people in critical positions. And in elective positions, we are equally represented. We are fairly represented because...
I don't think that. Maybe he has something to say about that. I don't know. So what about... So you don't believe in restructuring Nigeria? You think everybody is being...
Restructuring to what? I think we probably need to restructure our mindset. That if it's about Nigeria, see, the problem is, the problem we have, I must say, it may sound rude, is that we have political ignorance. That's a big problem in Igbo land. For example, Igbo people are thinking of themselves as people that are restricted to southeast of Nigeria, when we have millions of Igbos in Kano and Lagos. Once Igbos stop thinking like that, start living up to the level they're supposed to be, Igbos should claim Nigeria wherever they are.
Yeah, but let me tell you where the marginalization comes in, and it does come in from the Igbos' perspective is in terms of infrastructure. Yeah, so you look at roads, federal roads into the southeast are mostly dilapidated.
Yeah.
Federal infrastructure, we're still talking about the second Niger bridge.
Yes.
Seaports. What?
Who is marginalizing us? We're marginalizing ourselves.
No, listen. The seaports, it's only Lagos. We're predominantly traders. We need a seaport in the southeast. Why isn't it not being done? Airports, international airports, viable international airports are not being given to us. Cargo airports.
Who gives these things?
The federal government.
How do they give them?
No, there's federal and state governments.
Don't forget what I said earlier on. There has never been a government without Igbos in critical position. I'm not a fool that want to say that Igbos have the best roads. We have everything we need to have from government. If we had everything that we need from the government, then I wouldn't be running for Senate. What I am saying is that we have failed to. Our leaders have failed to live up to expectations. We have people in government who do not think for the people. So that's why I'm saying we are not being it.
I say no to that.
Wait, allow me to explain it. See, if we have had people in government all the time, the question is, what did they do about Second Niger Bridge? What did they do about the needs of Igbo people?
Yeah, but some of them, they could pass the bill in let's say there's a second Niger Bridge
About
bill.
roads not being up.
Let's say there's a bill they passed, because we saw there was a bill they passed recently, which was to do with Southeast development. You know the way you have the Niger Delta Development Commission?
Yes.
They tried to pass a bill of the Southeast Development Commission, but the bill was killed.
See,
And it was killed right there in front of, and it was because it was to do with the Southeast, and that's the marginalization
don't
we're
be
talking
fooled
about.
by politics, and some people have come to coin the word politics. See, the thing is, I am not a sentimentalist. We had a government that was effectively an Igbo government, the closest you can get to an Igbo government.
Which government was that?
Jonathan's government, for about 6 years. And this government...
How was it? Why would you say that?
The Igbos saw Jonathan as their own.
Yeah.
And Igbos were in very critical positions.
Like what positions? They were still
And Igbos voted for, Igbos were the real powers, that the people that gave him the mandate, really, you can say that. So, in that government, if we could not have have anything built for us, they talk about railway, Igbo senators are sitting there, they exclude Igbo land, right from China.
No, but they're a minority in the House, that's the problem.
No, it's not about minority.
They're a minority.
Now, we're talking about now. We're not talking about Jonathan's time, PDP time. APC, President Buhari has been there going on 4 years.
Yes.
And then we don't have, because you said Igbos, we don't have, say, whatever, that is not, you don't believe that. There's only
We're
one
marginalizing
Igbo,
ourselves.
there's only one Igbo senator, or is it not?
Are you joking?
I mean, APC, when it comes to APC.
It's not about party.
No,
Every
what's going
senator
on
is
here is
equal.
party. What's going on in Nigeria is party.
No, but the point is, what I'm saying, every senator is equal. It's not about whether you have people in the ruling party or not. This is an idea we need to.
Gave an example. Somebody brought in a bill and it was quashed.
I'm not very much aware of the bill, but the point is, I can only say what I'm aware of. But the point I'm making is, in terms of National Assembly, we are equally represented. Every state has 3 senators. Every state. And if Igbos were politically aware, they could even have more than, because we have Igbos in River State, we have Igbos in Delta.
No, another argument again is the marginalization in terms of states.
No,
we have only 5 states in
that's
the southeast.
argument, my friend.
Other regions, it's not a poor argument.
It's poor argument. Igbos,
No, because
Igbos
when it comes to representatives, we have less. When it comes to senators, we have less.
The thing is this: if Igbo people start addressing themselves first, sorting out our own immediate problem, we need to clean our house first before we complain. We need to address what we're doing to ourselves. My point, that's why it seems that we disagree. My point is that we are doing harm to ourselves. Igbos are not looking after themselves, and they're complaining about what others are doing to themselves. Igbos are harming each other. Right from 1999, look at the quality of people we've been sending to National Assembly. We've been sending mainly touts to National Assembly.
I wouldn't say that.
Loads of them are not capable.
I wouldn't say that.
Look, there was one that was the kind of people we have in National Assembly since 1999 in Igbo land. How many of them have actually done something? defended their people. We need to send responsible representatives. Igbos go to national politics and fight primitive village fights. Yorubas and others, they fight.
No, it's everybody. No. In that National Assembly, I can tell you it's just not Igbos that fight, because if you check,
It's not
if
about
you
physical,
fight,
I'm talking about physical fight. I'm talking
No.
about fighting for Igbo people.
I know.
They're not fighting for Igbo people.
I know. It's individual thing. Even other states also. As far as I'm concerned, Nigerian legislators, they're just fighting for themselves, not
Well,
just the Igbos.
Well, my concern as Igbo person is that my people act responsibly. And I'm still focusing on the fact that what we call marginalization, they are all mainly self-inflicted. Because if I'm in the National Assembly and they are talking about building railway, and that railway, I will very prominently to the hearing of the whole world. Is not later on start telling gossip. To the hearing of the whole world, I'll be prominently talking about the railway connecting Enugu, Abakaliki, Owerri.
That's what I wanted to hear from you. If what you will do in regards to all that.
Exactly. And the fact is, why I'm talking about marginalization not being real is that we haven't heard these people being.
No, that's what I was going to say, that she doesn't know. Maybe one or two.
That's not being fair.
Yeah.
Abaribe, for
Yeah,
instance.
did you hear that?
Senator Abaribe.
Yeah.
He's quite
where?
vocal.
Which year?
Yeah, maybe,
Senator Abaribe is quite
yes.
vocal.
That's what I wanted to
Yes.
say. Maybe you've not been watching closely.
The little I know is this. Look at what happening. See, what happens to Igbo man that is very shameful is that he is there fighting for personal thing. Once he is losing, or there is something, he has disagreement, he's not getting what he wants, he screams, oh, they are doing it because we're Igbos. Now, the national, I know, I won't delve much into what I don't know much about. I remember that under Jonathan's time they talked about railway. My own interest in life, I'm always about starting from home. You're talking about railway, what about my people?
Yeah.
So I looked at the railway thing, if I remember very well, during Jonathan's time. He did not properly incorporate Igbo people. And Buhari's government...
Well, Jonathan didn't incorporate.
Under Jonathan's government...
He did.
Okay.
Jonathan had a lot of... Like, he had Okonji-Iweala, he had ministers. What are you talking about?
Fine, that is more reason
Yeah.
why the Igbos have failed. Because one thing is that project, railway project we have today in Nigeria, for example.
Yeah.
Because I know there was an issue, but they claim that represent Igbo people.
Yeah, they were not included in the
Buhari is actually trying to implement what was there already. It's not new draft. So these guys who were there when these things were being drafted, they didn't talk because it was their party. Don't forget the same Igbo people. The biggest grudge you should have against them is that under Jonathan's time, we had a person you can call an Igbo president, at least half Igbo president, and they were slaughtering Igbo people in the north. Igbo leaders in their party, which they have strong ground, did not speak out. Don't forget that. I actually spoke out.
Where were they slaughtering
in
Igbos?
2012. Igbo people were being slaughtered. Boko Haram was slaughtering mainly Igbo people in the north. Have you forgotten that? You can Google it.
No.
Igbo leaders didn't speak out.
Nothing they did, but they couldn't do anything
didn't
about
speak
it.
out. That was the best time to speak out. You have a government that you virtually control. If I was in that Senate, I would walk out. I would stage and walk out. They were killing my people.
No. The thing with the Senate, what I understand by the Senate is you can speak out, but will your voice be heard? That's another thing.
That is a joke.
Because, no,
that
it's
is a
not
joke. If
because
a
even
senator,
right now, there's a female that's been speaking out on behalf of the Igbos. In what's her name? I've forgotten her name. Let me not call the wrong name. But there's a lady from Umuahia. Yes, she's from Umuahia. You know.
If a senator, you have a voice already.
You know?
So nobody should take.
She's a member of lower house.
Yes, it's still a voice.
Yeah.
The National Assembly has a voice.
She's been speaking out.
Yeah.
But only in social media we hear about her. Nobody has ever. Everything she's been saying. I used the word last week, or was it 2 weeks ago, that Nigeria is at war, and the guest we had here was so upset about it. But this woman keeps echoing that in this thing.
That's fine.
But nobody. But then you would say that Igbos don't speak out.
No, it's one
They
woman.
do speak out.
If one woman is speaking out of how many tens of
She's
representatives?
just one out of.
Fine.
No, there's others that are speaking out.
There are not a lot of them. See, the point is we need to appreciate there is a problem. We didn't even talk much about other areas. Ministers. We had Minister of Finance. We had the CBN governor. The question you ask yourself, you ask these people is, what policy did they advance in the that favored? How did they incorporate the interests of Igbo business, in their job? Because
so when you become the senator, or if you become, how do you intend to do
if
this?
I'm a senator, even as an
it's easier said than done. You can say all these things, and because there's a reason why they're not doing it. They said all these things, They said the same things you're saying.
Incompetence is the reason.
No, but they said the same things you're saying.
They never said
and for some reason, most of them, I've seen most of them, they've said a lot of things they'll do when they get in there. Once they get in there, something happens.
Go and check it out. They've not said it. The problem is that most of them are incompetent. I'm sorry. They might be competent in other areas, but they have failed us. I'll give an example what I can do and what I've done. I had in the 2014 national conference, because I'm passionate about development. 2014 national conference, I wrote a memo begging to go to national conference just out of frustration. I want to be part of it. I want to drive Nigeria to a different direction. And in that, what I proposed, I wrote in the memo what I proposed to do. I proposed to suggest we stop talking about sharing power, but stop talking about how to make Nigeria work. And in that memo, I suggested how Jonathan could even win the next election. And that one example I gave is that, look, my people in Lagos, they're suffering. If someone could come to their aid, an ordinary Igbo businessman does everything to survive, and then you know who is trying to fight him from surviving is the Nigerian authorities. Nobody talks about how the government agencies are frustrating, are extorting, exploiting Igbo businessmen. Nobody. Come on, where did they talk it? Where did they? That is sorry.
You're saying they're not vocal enough.
That's not good enough. Probably they are talking for 50-something years. Probably they're talking. Are you joking? No, you have people who have voice, voted to be in National Assembly. This thing should be their main interest. You have ministers. They don't see this as an issue. And then you surprise our people are following Nnamdi Kanu. So I am talking about real things. As nobody, I talked about it. As people who have been in position, they can't challenge, they have said yes. So who has a better voice? I can show you, I've even published it on Facebook once in an argument to show people what I've done. I'm not making it up. The memo saying this is what we can do. Imagine if Jonathan had done that, because you talk about voter apathy. People don't vote in Nigeria mainly because politicians don't link with them.
No, I think people are voting now because there's money involved. So people are voting now.
An Igbo businessman,
people are being brought out with money.
An Igbo businessman is going to vote for 5,000. What is 5,000?
No, but in the villages, people do vote.
How many people?
In Ekiti, they voted.
Well,
money was an issue.
Yeah, but on a serious matter, Igbo leaders haven't lived up to expectation. And I'm not saying I'm a perfect man. I'm saying that it's time for us to wake up.
I cannot wait for you to get in there and see the difference you make. Because what I'm scared of now, I hope you're not playing the aspirant politics, but what I'm scared of now is you going there, being the voice of others and not the Igbos. Because the way it is like you're really upset about the Igbo senators, because you're not going to be the only Igbo man there, Igbo senator there.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not upset. I don't fight individuals. I am passionate. I'm not personal about anything. I'm very passionate about change, about development, and what's happening in Igbo land is definitely upsetting me, because we cannot survive with these sort of things. So we need to, if we don't want people to follow Nnamdi Kanu to self-destruction, then you need to give them a path. You need to give them a direction.
Let me ask you something. You're representing under All Progressives Congress, APC.
Yes.
Do you think they're working now?
Whether APC is working?
Yes.
The government of Buhari?
Yes.
Well, I can tell you that if you really want to appraise things objectively.
Yeah, because you're just focusing on the train.
Yeah, but Buhari's government is a blessing to Nigeria. We prayed for it, and that's what we got. And look, what is happening in Nigeria? What is happening in Nigeria is failure to appreciate the need to change the direction of the country, the failure of the media, failure of other spheres of leadership. Buhari hasn't failed. It's Nigerians, even ordinary Nigerians, are failing. Instead of Nigerians embracing a man that has integrity like Buhari, embracing a man that is known to be completely incorruptible, and challenging.
You can have a man with other.
challenging him to make Nigeria better. I'll give him personal examples. I believe in real change. I'm passionate to see change in my lifetime.
Okay.
I went to change my passport. I want to change my passport last year. And right from the beginning, everyone was telling me, you have to pay a bribe.
Well, in the UK here?
In Nigeria.
Okay.
I went to Nigeria, traveled with an expired passport to change it. And to cut a long story short, I changed my passport exactly the same way I got a passport in 2001 without paying bribe. And I did the same day. I fought to the end. In the custom, in the immigration office headquarters, they want to force you to give bribe. But I resisted it.
No.
That's an example of how to make Nigeria better. Under Buhari's cover, I resist corruption. In Lagos, my in-law called me that they seized his vehicle. He transports goods from the market. And he said they said he had a contraband rice. And I asked him, did you go to Badagry or in the border? He said, no. In Ikorodu, you're seizing the vehicle for having contraband rice. I said, no, I'm not giving 1 penny bribe. Let us fight this thing. See what we're going to do? I'm going to spend money to get a lawyer to go and fight that in the court. That's what Buhari asked of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're not living up to expectation and we're complaining.
So, but did you get the rice back in the end?
He went and gave bribe.
Oh, he's doing-
That's stupidity.
So in the end,
But I didn't
so he couldn't get the rice then eventually.
because he didn't have patience.
Okay.
For me,
So you're saying he should have
I'm not
fought
giving
it
1
through.
penny. I'm not giving
Let's
I'm not
hold
giving
you
1
on
penny
to
for bribe.
that. Let's just hold there and take some messages from some people are acknowledging us on Facebook. And Ibikun I know says nice ones. Stacy as a, but I have some questions. Felicia Veronique from North Carolina, US said the Nigerian government agencies are exploiting Igbo businessmen and women. She said Spencer, and because I agreed. And then he says give IPOB some directives. So I don't know.
What advice would you give them?
Advice I'll give them.
Yeah, that's what she meant.
The advice I'll give POB, they are my brothers and sisters, obviously. The advice I give them is we need to, Igbo people are supposed to be civilized people. Civilized people don't go cutting hatred. Hatred is their only language. Insult, that's not the way to comport ourselves. The advice I give them is to sit back, think. If we want Biafra, we have to be more civil about it. It's not by getting everyone to hate us. If everyone hates us, even if we become Biafra, if everyone hates us, we can't survive.
True.
As powerful as Israel is, it's not comfortable with being hated. It tries to make friends. So we need to change the approach of insulting other people, spewing falsehood, hatred, all the time. That's all they do. It's really sickening. It belittles Igbo people.
But what advice would you give them in terms of actualizing their dream if they so choose?
Well, the fact is, first of all, people need to be honest and real about things. If you're being led by someone who is telling you lies, you need to wake up first. Because if you don't wake up, then whatever I'm saying doesn't make sense. To start with, there is nobody that gives Biafra in the Western world. There's nobody. If they are really rational people, they should realize that there is some people call the courts. If there was someone that gives countries, that gives people that says, okay, you want to be free, we give it to you, they would have given it to the Kurdish people. There are loads of people like that. If you want to have a separate country, you say that you actualize it peacefully, be part of the political system, or you start fighting a war. That is not a good advice for me. War is dangerous.
Terrible, yeah.
If they really want war, like some of them seem to want, they should go and watch war films and read about wars.
Okay, finally, because we need to go now because of time.
Yes.
What would you say to Ebony people? What would you want them to, what promise are you going to make to your people?
The promise I will make is the promise to serve them and serve them with everything I have. I believe that I have a history. My family, I come from a background that is known for serving people and for being upright. I am not a saint, but I promise to sacrifice my life, if that's how I have to put it, to make sure there's a difference. I am passionate about having seen a better society in my lifetime. I'm so passionate that I'm prepared. If that's all I have to be known for, that's all I want. I'm not interested in being a millionaire. I'm interested in being known for helping, because it's not one man that does it, helping to better the society, live it better than we've met it.
Thank you very much.
Iteshi, it's good having you on board today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Please, viewers, just join us. Join our social media. We're on YouTube, Prime View TV, Prime View Television. We're on Instagram, Prime View Television, and Facebook, Prime View Television. It is fantastic having you all on board today. I'm Mystic Marlene. Say goodbye.
And I'm Spencer Aniwelo. See you next time. Bye-bye.
It's just this one I heard. I didn't hear anything.
Welcome to Karamo Lounge. Welcome to Karamo Lounge Pan-African Restaurant, bringing you the finest taste of African food to the heart of East London. Choose from a variety of Pan-African menu or try our point and kill fresh catfish. We are located in 308 Barking Road, East Ham, London, E6 3BA. For table bookings, birthday bookings, baby shower, and private events, call us on 0203 302 6565 or 07532 789 480. Karamo Lounge.
A great product just landed in Africa to power your devices. A product with high performance and high durability. Fujitsu batteries, distributed by IQ Distributions. Fujitsu has both industrial and consumer battery types suitable for various devices. The consumer battery types include alkaline batteries, carbon zinc batteries, rechargeable batteries, lithium batteries to power devices like torchlight, wristwatch, mouse, cordless phone, remote, car remote, camera, calculator, radio, microphone, motherboard, keyboard, gamepad, toys, electric toothbrush, smoke detector and lots more. Reputable, reliable and result-oriented distributors are wanted in Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa and the entire sub-Saharan Africa region. To apply, simply visit www.iqdistributions.com. Complete the reseller application form, upload the required documents, and submit. Once your application is approved, you will be given access to make purchases on the website. For more details, contact us now. Fujitsu batteries, quality, engineered in Japan.